Hi, I'm back. How is everybody? As you can see, I got some fringe cut. I'm not too sure about it. I had those curtain bangs for a while, and I was like, I think I wanna go ahead and get them cut shorter and maybe start from scratch again. But I think my hair is freaking out a little bit from it because this natural part doesn't want to come together like a nice French girl fringe. So it's kind of like it needs to be convinced to do what I want it to do. But then it looked like that, and then with my hair down, I think it looks a little bit better like that. But today's a chill day. Today is I don't give a flying crap what I care about day, so we are kind of just whatever today. Let me put my hair back up. So today I decided is a continuation of my 2023 TBR, and I also decided that I'd go ahead and I put more books on my TBR. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I put more books on my TBR? So I should have over 100 something books on my TBR now. So I'm going to end up adding these other books to the TBR really fast, and then we will get back to this and do some recordings. And also another thing that I realized I feel like I have done a cardinal sin to Booktube. So I was using the New Year Booktuber tag, but I didn't answer any of the questions that were on the tag. So I will answer those questions here in just a minute as well, but I'm going to get everything loaded up first and ready to go, and then we will do the Booktuber tag questions first, and then we'll go on to the second quarter of 2023 for my TBR planning. So I am going to amend my what I did last video, and that is not even answering the questions from tags, so I apologize profusely for that. So let us get to the questions. What are you most excited about for 2023? I don't really know. That's a really lame response. I think what I am most excited for is probably getting my library done, and for the new year to roll over and occur. I really, really like New Year. It's one of my favorite times of year. It's like the winding down of the previous year, and then the new year with all of its possibilities and the fun and the cold weather. It's sort of just like the end, the wrap up. I enjoy that part of it. For 2023 specifically, I'm just kind of excited to continue to be around my kids and watch them grow up and get into another year of parenting, as such as it is. It's not all sunflowers and rainbows, believe me, but it's just life experience and going through it and growing, and learning what I like, what I don't like. I think I'm also kind of excited about these books I'm going to be reading for this year. I feel like I have really lined up some great literature to read, and so I'm just kind of excited to continue to expand my literature journey and to learn so much. So the next question is, do you have a Goodreads challenge goal, and why that number? So I think I'm going to set my Goodreads challenge goal for 100 books, just a solid 100 books. Last year for 2023, because I didn't have a goal and I kind of started this channel in July, I decided I would just put 12 books on there, read 12 books, because 12 months in a year, 12 books. And so I met the 12 books, and I was like, oh, okay, great, I'll add another 12 books. And so I just kind of kept adding more books as I went, where I felt like I could make that number if I keep consistently going. And I ended up, so far on Goodreads, reading 54 books. And that's really fabulous. I actually think it's going to be more like 55, 56 books by the time I'm done, with December for sure, because I'm going to read another book, and I'm almost done with a Thomas Hardy collection, like a Christmas collection. So I think it's going to be more like 56 books when I'm done. I feel like if I can kind of keep that pace up, then I can easily get 100 books. So I'm going to go ahead and set my reading goal for 2023 to be 100 books. I don't think it's, outrageous. I don't think it's unrealistic either. So I think I can do a solid 100 books. List 3 5-star predictions. I'm not really sure what I think will be a 5-star. I'm hoping that Bluebeard by Kurt Vonnegut will be a 5-star for me because I really, really enjoyed The Sirens of Titan. And I read that many years ago by Kurt Vonnegut. And I've enjoyed what I have read from Kurt Vonnegut. I am hoping that The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath would be also a 5-star. Stoner has been a lot of people's favorite books, so I feel like I am also obligated to read Stoner because I am a resident of Missouri in the United States, so I'm really hoping that Stoner will be a 5-star. I guess that's already 3. Maybe do Android's Dream of Electric Sheep because I really, really love Blade Runner, and I'd like the book to be just as good as if not better than the movie. So that's actually 4, but cool, whatever. What genre, subgenre, or trope do you want to read more of? I really want to read more classics just in general, but I do think I want to try and sprinkle in a couple of sci-fi classics because I kind of missed those. I haven't read a ton of sci-fi in my life. I've read a little bit and listened to a little bit. So yeah, I think sci-fi tropes I don't really care about, to be honest. But we'll see. What trope do you think will be the most popular in 2023? Friends to lovers is always kind of a popular trope. Enemies to lovers, probably more popular than that. There are some tropes I actually don't like at all. Like forced proximity is one that I have never liked. And if it comes up in a book, I'm automatically turned off. I do like bad boys. So, enemies to lovers, I think will be really popular again. Name 3 bookish goals for the year. Bookish goal number 1 is to finish my library. I am currently sitting in my unfinished office. It's got super bright white lights, but it also is in front of my computer so that I can do my book planning for the year. And, I'm trying to think. Buy more hardbound classics. I really like and have discovered the Chiltern classics. I think they're out of the UK, and they make these really beautifully embossed books. I bought 1 book of the Chilterns, and that was The Great Gatsby. So I do plan on probably reading The Great Gatsby again really soon. I don't have it in my plans right now, only because I've read it before. And so if I have an opportunity to pick it up again during the months that I'm planning out, then I will. And I'll go ahead and read that. But I do want to collect more just beautiful books. Books that are visually appealing so that when my office is finished, then I have beautiful decorations around my office. And I want a super awesome backdrop for these videos I'm making. You guys have probably seen the chair in my little corner. That's actually in my bedroom because my bedroom is finished. But yeah, I want to have an actual more bookish background. Maybe that's my number 3 goal also. Have a bookish background. I think my background's okay. I have a couple of books, but I don't have a shelf or anything full of books. So when I'm done with this office, all of my goals are office related at this point. So when I finish my office, all 3 of my goals, I will have a nice bookish background for these videos and continue to make these videos. So, name 3 personal goals for the year. Oh my gosh, I have been probably the laziest that I have ever been in 2023. I, for a very long time, was more athletic and would get out more and just physically more active, moving a lot more and lifting weight and bike riding and things. But life has been rather busy, especially with 2 younger children. So what I've had to do is kind of compromise and put their needs first. Well, then what has ended up happening is I don't move enough. And I haven't put on weight necessarily, but I'm not as strong as I once was. And it has annoyed me. It has made me angry. So I have made certain purchases. I have gotten weights. I have, gotten a rowing machine. I have, done all this stuff off of Facebook Marketplace to kind of build up a home gym so that I can get up in the morning and work out. And starting, I've already started, because I love the rowing machine actually. I've already started the last couple of weeks, and I'm gonna be consistent. So consistent exercise is one big goal. Second goal is that definitely after Christmas and New Year's are over, no more alcohol. We're doing a sober January. No more chocolate, because chocolate's my enemy. And just kind of cleaning up my diet in general. I personally eat a primarily vegan diet. I am not a vegan though. I will eat the occasional, and I mean super occasional, I mean once a year at most, piece of shellfish or shrimp, because shrimp was always my weakness growing up. I loved shrimp. Kind of seafood stuff. I do not eat red meat. I do not touch chicken because I think it's disgusting. And, every once in a while I have chocolate that's not exactly vegan. So anyway, cleaning up my diet is another thing in January and I'm hoping into February and March and all of that, because usually that's the time of year where I just don't consume anything that's kind of bad for me, and kind of get in shape for summer. So, and then I don't know, last goal, keep on making videos, keep reading the books, which makes me read the videos. So that's my third goal, is just keep this up, keep it going. It's slow. I have 30 subscribers now, and I really appreciate every one of you, and thank you so much for subscribing. My Booktube will never ever be monetized. This is just for fun, and I would appreciate more comments and more chitter chatter. That would be a lot of fun, because I want to talk to you guys some more. I'm in this just for making new friends, so if you guys want to be friends, please, I'm happy to be friends. And then, what do you want to leave behind in 2022? I don't know. There isn't anything that's that awful that I'd like to just ditch it, leave behind. Maybe negative attitude, negative feelings, not feeling like I'm good enough. Now that in work and in personal life and in YouTube life and whatever, with that, I don't really care about that with YouTube life, but sometimes when you're in a certain job, and I love my job, and I am very, very lucky to have my job. I absolutely love my job. I'm paid very well. I'm appreciated at work. But there was a moment there, probably starting in August, September, November maybe. I don't know. Like nearing the end of the year. And I just got out of that in December. I felt like, I was kind of in imposter syndrome, that, really these people, they think I'm so great, and I'm really not. I'm not. I felt like I wasn't getting enough accomplished maybe, and I felt like I was letting people down, but really I wasn't. I was still pretty on top of things, and I never got any feedback to the contrary, that I wasn't doing great. So I think I'd like to just let go of negative feeling, imposter syndrome sort of feelings. So that's my answer. Anyway, that's all the questions. And I really appreciate the folks that actually made this tag. Jessie Reads Romance. And everyone's encouraged, if you want to continue this tag on, you're encouraged to tag other folks. I think I am going to tag a couple people. And I will tag them down in the description box below. I think Read by Fred. I'm looking at you, buddy, for sure. Maybe Emma, if Emmy's up to this. I don't know. I'll have to find a couple of folks to just tag on here that I know of. They don't really know me though. I'm very, very small in the pond right now as far as the booktubers go. So nobody knows me. It may be better that way. I don't know. But anyway, I think that's it. Now we'll move on to the second quarter planning for 2023. I've added that to the end of this video. And I think maybe the next video I'm actually going to put out will be best books that I read, like the ones I really liked for 2022, and then my worst books for 2022. So stay tuned, and thanks so much for watching. And here's the next planning phase. Hi everybody, I'm back. So again, I have got the screen in front of me, and then I am speaking to you and capturing voice. So here we go. We are going to look at the second quarter of 2023. Before I had the listing out, and I actually have gone back into Goodreads and added more books because I like to punish myself. So what we're going to do is just kind of go through what I have. I now unfortunately have way over 100 books. Also, what I think happened when I did the initial import, I might have done some filtering, and I filtered out a bunch of stuff that was actually on my TBR. Go figure. I'm not sure exactly what I did. So anyway, I have got the entire TBR on here. Some of this I'm going to ignore because some of it I'm not really interested in reading. Some of this I'm going to say, yes, for sure, 100%, you know, let's put it on this quarter. So without further ado, we'll get started here. I am going to pick a new color. So we're at April, and now we're going to be looking at May. What we would like to read in May. I don't really know if there's anything like a theme for May specifically. We're getting into April, so maybe something a bit more sunny, maybe something kind of interesting. I added a whole bunch of Alexandre Dumas. So I'm thinking, I haven't read The Man in the Iron Mask at all. It sounds really cool. It's not a super lengthy book, but I also have never read The Black Tulip. And we're coming off of like Tulip Fever in April, so I'm almost wondering if The Black Tulip would be really cool in May. I don't know. I think it's also about the flower trade as well that was going on in Holland and all those kind of more northern European areas. I think that sounds really interesting, actually, and I've been liking everything I have listened to around Dumas. I've been loving The Count of Monte Cristo. I am halfway through it, mostly listening to it, unfortunately, because I cannot get my hands on a decent physical copy of the book right now. I found another bookstore near me, though, kind of a local bookstore that I knew existed, but kind of never really have gone to and didn't really think about until like I just passed by the town down the road a few days ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, that little bookstore has existed for like the past 30 years. Why haven't I gone there? So I'm gonna go there soon, and I'm gonna see if I can video that as well when I'm there, because it's such a cute little bookstore. It's called Read It Again Books. It's in Oak Grove, Missouri. And I think if you want to look it up, they do have a website, Read It Again Books. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and highlight this. Let's do this for May. And let's pick a nice color. Ooh, let's do something kind of pink, like maybe a nice dusty purpley pink. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so we're gonna do May. Let's do this. Okay, May 23rd. All right, 23. Then, okay, so that's not a long book, so that's good. What other books do we have that are around like May? I'm not really interested in Alison Crogon anymore. I may go ahead and finish this series at a later date when I'm kind of more feeling the fantasy again. Another fantasy book. This is kind of like a fairy tale sort of thing, but this seems like more of a fall, winter sort of thing. Agnes Grey by Anne Bronte, or The Tenant of Wilfell Hall. I don't know. Dragons of Pern is another fantasy, but I remember that being a really, really good book. And I didn't actually read it when I was young. I kind of listened to it while my dad was driving. So, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in reading some Anthony Trollope, though. How long is The Way We Live Now? That's probably his longest book. Dr. Thorne is also, I remember that series on PBS, I think, Dr. Thorne. That was kind of good. And then The Little Prince. I don't know. Let's look and see here. I'm not really interested in The Surgeon's Daughter, number 2 of that series. Sirens and Muses by Antonia Angress. Let's do this one for May, because that has piqued my interest, and that would be kind of a more modern book. Let's go ahead and use that nice dusty purple again. Oh, I didn't grab it for there. Derp. Okay. Let's do May. All right. Then you're gonna also see my anti-religious studies. I apologize if I offend anybody by that. I got through most of that, and I have it on audiobook. The Body Keeps the Score. Charlotte Bronte's The Professor. How long is that one? You know, I might read that one. Let's keep going and see. The Thornbirds. Now, I am interested because I have read Colleen McCullough's before. I believe I have read some of her Caesar, like Rome series, and that was really good. I wonder if did she also do a series on the Tudors? I cannot remember. But I know of Colleen McCullough, and I know she's very good. That's 692 pages, though. Maybe that's more of a June book. I don't know. We'll see. Let's pick like some not super long ones for May and like pack in a bunch of them. I'm not really that interested in Dale Carnegie right now. The Bridge Kingdom. This is supposed to be on the smutty side. 356. And I'm not really interested in doing my smut corner right now. Smut corner is kind of one of those things where if I have time during the month, I kind of insert, bad joke, kind of put in, read one of these books if I have enough time during the month. Ooh. Actually, let's read Rebecca. Let's read Rebecca in May. I have an intense interest in reading Rebecca. I also have an intense reading and reading a lot of stuff. Cloud Atlas has also drawn my attention too. I remember seeing the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and actually enjoying it quite a bit. But I don't know how well the movie actually reflects the book. I have a feeling the book's way better. And I don't have it right now. So maybe we'll wait on that one. And that one's sci-fi. This one is a fantasy, but it's witches and witchcraft. And I think I remember watching a few years back the first season of this series on one of the cable channels. And it was kind of good. And I was actually really interested in reading the whole series at some point. Maybe this is something I can do around October or November. Maybe I can start that then. I don't know. You know what? let's do like a dusty orange and maybe like say October. If I could see my keyboard, I've got my wine glass in the way here. Okay. The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. I really enjoyed the other Donna Tartt book, which is The Secret. The Secret History is Donna Tartt's book. And I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm almost wondering if I will enjoy The Goldfinch too. I do have a copy of it. And it is a long one though. But I've also heard from a few YouTube personalities on here that it wasn't very good. It is about the art world. And Sirens and Muses is also about the art world. Maybe that's more of a June book. Let's think on it. Where Angels Fear to Tread by E.M. Forster. I think I'd like to go ahead and read that in May. I have that book. I purchased it fairly recently. I need to have a book haul because I did purchase a few physical copies of things recently that I'm very excited about. Okay, so how many for May is that now? Oh, I chose the wrong color. Maybe I'll just pick the purple instead, because that's a pretty color too. This nice dusty purple color. Okay, so that's 4 for May. I think that's a pretty good spread there. So let's do June now. And I was thinking either the Thornbirds or the Goldfinch is the longish book for May. Or, I'm sorry, April. Cloud Atlas is also really long. Let's do the Goldfinch for June. Did I say April, May? And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm all bleh right here. The wine is probably not helping. Let's go with that nice dusty magenta. Let's do April. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, June. What? Juno. Okay, June. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I do want to read some classic sci-fi this year. How long is it? It's only 216. Ooh. That's a big ooh for me. I remember seeing the movie, but I have a feeling that movie back from, it was in the 2000s. I have a feeling that movie was not a very good adaptation of that story, of that book. I just don't really know. Roman Fever by Edith Wharton is only 25 pages long. Well, shoot. You know what? I'm gonna throw this in May just to put another Edith Wharton in there. I do love Edith Wharton's writing. I think it's amazing. She's so, I don't know, she's just so good at writing. Let's see here. Oh, North and South in there. And I already did, I did Wives and Daughters earlier, so that is in there. The Age of Innocence by Edith Wharton is also. That might be probably a great May book. Doesn't it happen during the summer? Summer by Edith Wharton, though. The Buccaneers was such a good, I think that was on PBS. It was such a good one on PBS. Let's do summer for June, because that's like, or maybe even July. That's like high summer. Maybe. Okay. Let's see, May. The Garden of Eden by Ernest Hemingway. It's only 248. Okay, I did it again. Oh my gosh, June. We're looking at June, right? Yeah, June. Maybe the wine's getting to me at this point. Yeah. Maybe the wine's getting to me at this point. Okay, you know, I want to read 1984. So let's throw in Orwell in June. We're doing the magenta. Okay, so that's 2 books for June so far. And we are at like over 1,000 pages for June now. So we need a couple of smaller ones. 189. And our time is pretty short. And so is, you know what? Let's do The Sun Also Rises. Yep. Then, okay. And then I need at least one more short-ish book. Ooh, A Murder Most Serene. That sounds interesting. I haven't read like a thriller or a murder mystery in probably a few years. Like I used to read a lot of cozy mysteries, like the Bookshop Murder Mystery series. Then there was a Tea Shop mystery series that I was reading for a while, and that was like a really, really cute and cozy sort of thing, and I liked those a lot. And I probably will end up reading at least another one or 2 of those before maybe the year is out. I was really thinking about it yesterday. I was like, oh, I remember those Tea Shop mysteries. I think I'd like to go back and read one of those again before the year is out. Just because they were so damn cozy. I did read, what was the one? I read Legends and Lattes. It was cute. It wasn't as cozy though as people have been advertising it as. It was all right. I didn't have a problem with the book at all. I think it was really actually well written, but I just wasn't feeling cozy vibes at all, to be honest. I thought it was kind of like, it was there, but it wasn't like thick. It wasn't really layered on. I have read cozy murder mysteries that have been layering on the cozy elements way thicker than Legends and Lattes had. So if they do a second book of Legends and Lattes, which it certainly seems like they could do, you know, the author could do a second book from what how it ends, then I would really like to see like a lot more of that coziness in there. That's just personally what I'd like to see. But maybe we'll talk about that a little bit. Portrait of a Lady. Oh my goodness, that's 797. I'm not interested in any of those fantasy books right now. You know, First Love, that might be good for June. Let's do that. Let's do First Love for June, and then we were doing that nice magenta color. Okay, so I think then that is 1, 2, 3 for June, 4 for June, 4 for May, and then we have April here. January, February, March, April, and then May, June. Okay, let's do July. God, I really want to read Ulysses. Oh man, I've heard that James Joyce is so challenging though. What was my long book before? Let me see what I've got here. Okay, I've got The Goldfinch in June, and that's 700 pages, so I may be finishing that up. And then my really long book was War and Peace, and I was starting that in February. I'm going to assume that I would get done with War and Peace by the time that May is over with. And so then, yes, in June I'd hit Donna Tartt's long book. August. Why don't I try to pick up Ulysses in August? Let's pick a color for August. Let's do like a nice, ooh, like a dusty red. That's a little too close to that magenta. Have I picked green for any? Yeah, I did pick a green. I want something kind of. Let's do like an orangey. Well, orangey could be October though. Fudge. Is that too close? No, that's okay. Let's do August here. Let's do August for Ulysses, because I really want to get into Ulysses and I want to understand it, and I think that there are some annotated books or additional books you could read along with to kind of make more sense of it. I have just heard it's really challenging. If you guys don't think it's challenging, let me know. I've just heard it really is. And I think I may have tried to start listening to it, but I didn't like it. And it really turned me off, and I don't recall why, because this was a few years ago. And I tend to forget things especially if I don't like it. I just, throw it out. That's how my brain works. It tosses it out immediately. So I'm hoping that won't be the case there. Oh, fudge, I forgot about Jane Austen June. I would kind of like to do another Jane Austen. Lady Susan is not very long. Let's throw in Lady Susan for June. I think it can be done. I definitely think it can be done. And again, this is just a rough outline of what of the books I would like to get to off of my TBR. This is not set in stone. If I feel like changing things later on, then I will. It's my personal reading journey. So I have full control over it, so yay. Emmy on YouTube read Wide Sargasso Sea, and that seemed really, really interesting to me because it's like a companion. Wide Sargasso Sea is a companion to Jane Eyre in a way. So I think I would like to read that at some point. Let's see here. We haven't even touched July yet. I don't know if I'm interested in that stuff at all. The Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. I remember my mother had this book. And I almost read it at one point, but I never did end up reading it. I'm not interested in Joseph Campbell. I was on a big Joseph Campbell kick. And I think I added this onto my TBR like way early into my actual logging into Goodreads and adding stuff on there. John Steinbeck, I don't know. East of Eden is 601. Maybe this would be good for July, because it is about farming in a way. Okay, let's pick a nice sunny color for July. Dark yellow, kind of a nice goldenrod yellow. Let's do that. Okay, first one for July. God of Death, Night Wolf, Blood Orange. My Dark Vanessa. I've heard things about this. A lot of Kurt Vonnegut on here. Is Kurt Vonnegut mostly sci-fi? I know I read one of his books that was definitely a sci-fi. Sirens of Titan, and I loved that book. I thought it was absolutely excellent. Mother Night, maybe. Okay. Writers and Lovers. If We Were Villains. I have seen a lot of this on Book Talk, If We Were Villains. But I'm not really sure if I want to dedicate to... Okay. Alright, I think I'm going to have to read Madeline Miller for June. This seems like a very appropriate book. I'm sorry. Wow, I keep stepping back here. July. Because I have not read The Song of Achilles. I read Circe. And I enjoyed Circe a lot. And I've heard that The Song of Achilles is just a tearjerker. And I am aware of the Iliad and... Yeah, because Achilles was part of the Iliad and the Trojan War. And I know the history of that because I took a really extensive course in Greek mythology and Greek literature when I was in school. It was in college. It was one of the courses for literature I could actually take and I was actually interested in taking. So that one I think I could fully immerse myself into, actually. The Midnight Library I've seen a lot on YouTube as well, and it's more modern. So is Song of Achilles, to be honest. My other July book was East of Eden, so it's technically, it is a classic. The Monk is more of an October thing. I don't even know if I want to approach that. It's pretty funky from what I understand. Bunny is something I'd be interested in reading. I've never read Mona Awad before, though. And I don't know if it's kind of a scary book, or if it's a thriller, or if it's a dark academia, or what. So I don't know. It's more naughty books. Atlas 6 was another one I was interested in. Rilke's Book of Hours was one I was thinking about. And it's only 166 pages. And I don't have any poetry on here. Why don't we do this for July, too? Let's toss it in there. I don't want to do any fantasy right now. Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. That sounds okay. Maybe. Because I think I'd rather pick up another Alexander Dumas first before I read any Robert Louis Stevenson. Because I think that authors that write this sort of kind of epic novel, but I consider Treasure Island kind of an epic novel. They're really drawing their inspiration from Dumas, so I think I'd rather read like the source material before I go on to that. I got some Sarah J. Maas to catch up on because I haven't read either of these three, and I do need to read those. I think I've read this one. I don't know why it's on my to be read. No, that's the other Hades and Persephone's I'm thinking of. There were two like different Hades and Persephone's series going on the last couple of years. Yeah, okay, so this is the one that's supposed to come out in 2023. What a Library Means to a Woman by Edith Wharton. I'm sorry, not by Edith Wharton. But I thought this was kind of an interesting book title because I like Edith Wharton. See, We Have Always Lived in the Castle. That's an October book. Priest. The Woman Destroyed by Simone de Beauvoir. Ooh, that sounds like a good one for July, actually. Let's start in July. Because I was pretty interested in this when I saw it come up. I don't remember which YouTuber it was, and I need to start writing this stuff down. But I was pretty interested in this when I saw it come up. I don't remember which YouTuber it was, and I need to start writing this stuff down. I need to start writing this stuff down. There was a YouTuber that kind of went over some feminist literature, and Simone de Beauvoir was on here as well. I don't know if it's Beauvoir or Beauvoir. You guys will have to correct me. My French is terrible, so I don't speak very well. Piranesi. Let's see, how many for July? I have 4 for July now, so we need to move on to August, really. So I think that by this time I would be ready for a long-ish book again, because then 1984, where was it? Okay, so the Goldfinch, June, July. Yeah, I think I'd be ready for another long one again. And I think I know which long one I want to read at this point. And I think that that's going to be Jonathan Strange and Mr. Narl. So this will be August. What was the color we had for August? Is it that funky reddish? I think it's that color, light red. Let's see. Bingo! I think that's close enough. I'll fix them later if I have to. Okay, so that's August. And I am very interested in this. It's, I think it's set in Victorian England, but there's magic. So, I mean, it's sort of fantasy, sort of not fantasy. We'll see. I also like, I don't know if I should do 2 Susanna Clarks in the same month. Thomas Hardy. Darn it. I need to get in some Thomas Hardy. How long is Tess of the D'Urbervilles? 518. That's not too awful. That's I think a lot of bad stuff happens to Tess. Like, it's a bit depressing. This one's not as depressing. And it's also a little bit shorter. It's just a farming community in the Victorian England. Let's do it in August. Let's try. Let's try for August, because I would really like to watch that, to read that one. Okay, let's pick out another 2 then. Oh, Breakfast at Tiffany's. Okay. I haven't read any Truman Capote, and I have a feeling that I have a feeling that Breakfast at Tiffany's would be a really good read to start with from Truman Capote. Why don't we do that? Yeah, let's do it in June. Why not? I have no idea how long it is, though. Goodreads doesn't have I am choosing that. Goodreads doesn't have the number of pages. I'm surprised. Oops. If I can type, that might help. Okay. Okay. I need to read Virginia Woolf. And that's only 122 pages. So let's do this one in August, too. And I may go ahead and read this one earlier, actually. Because I really do want to read this one. And August seems so far away right now. This is 6 months out. Yeah, almost 6 months out. It's crazy. I am picking up Snow Country this month in December. That was one of the last books I was going to read before the end of the year, and I've still got, how many days? Oh, I have a week. That shouldn't be a problem, because it's pretty short. I may start on it today, actually. Alright, so that's 4 for August. Let me kind of flip through here again to make sure I'm not really missing anything that I really, really want to read. Oh, Bunny. Oh, Bunny. Let's see here. Yeah, I added in that big book in August. June. It's like 7. You know, June isn't super heavy. How long is Bunny? Maybe we'll try for this in June. Oh, we got a gold color this one. July, not June. I'm drunk. No, I'm not. I'm fine. Okay, I think that's it then for the second quarter. So yeah, we have June, July, August. Yeah, June, July, August. Yep. Yep. All right. That's it for this part then of this video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.